Last week, we have created a very promising foundational breakout model for E-mini Nasdaq. And we covered the first steps of building such a model. So you can go back and watch the video. This is a 3-part or 2-part, I don't know yet, masterclass on building foundational breakout models A to Z. Today, we will cover robustness testing. Robustness testing is the most important thing. We do not have a truly robust foundational model. We have absolutely nothing, and that's what we're going to cover today. So let's get to it.
You need a breakout, set your spirit free.
Okay, welcome back, breakout trading fans, masters, and specialists. So I'll continue right where we ended in the first part of the building robust breakout trading strategies masterclass. And we ended here. Actually, let me go one back. So last week we assessed a lot of different models and combinations and point of initiations. Again, you can watch the previous video. We did so in the BreakoutOS. Okay, again, everything, the whole work we're doing here is done in the BreakoutOS. And we ended up with a very promising base foundational breakout or model on E-mini Nasdaq 1 hour. And we just uncovered the in-sample data. So the in-sample data means we do not see the last 3 years yet, which are the out-of-sample unseen data. And we said, hey, we have a pretty promising model where we take the low of the day and we add average true range 20 bars multiplied by 1, which we can pretty much cancel out. So we add volatility of the last 20 bars, and if we place a breakout or stop order and we enter a breakout trade there, we have a pretty solid foundation making about 10,000 a year or almost 1,000 a month on average. Now, we said that we also covered some robustness testing, like how many different multipliers here are positive and making money, and we saw it's about half. And also if the point of initiation is among top ranking in other models, which is, so we already covered partially some robustness tests. And again, please, if you did not watch the video before, watch it before you watch this one, because we covered quite a lot. Now we need to perform another set of robustness tests. So we go to this model, and now the most important part is, will this model hold on unseen data on the last 3 years? Will it deliver similar equity curve performance? Is it potentially a good model? And we do this by either revealing the last year's data or all of the data, which only now, when we know that we have potentially okay foundational model, we can do. So let's get ready to that, and ta-da-da-da-ta-chan. And guys, this is amazing. And I did not prepare this in advance. I'm literally building these models with you as I do it normally. And as you can see, we have fantastic performance on the last 3 years data. So we passed another robustness test, which is verifying the data on the out of sample. And the results, again, it's really, really, really good. Now, are we done here? Well, I wish it was so simple. Not yet. So we now know we have a potentially strong model, and which verify very well on out of sample, but we still need to perform more robustness tests. And everything in successful trading is about robustness testing. The more robustness tests you stack up, the better you will do. Personally, in our hedge fund, we're doing one of the most rigid, hardest robustness test procedures you can just imagine. That's how we can pretty much guarantee we will be having positive performance in the future. So now we know that this model, low of the day plus ATR 20, is a good one. The next check we have to do is to know that actually the neighbor values would work as well. 0.8 or 1.2. Because if these neighbor values would fall apart, we again have nothing. We have just overfit crap, which we do not want. So we need to also check the neighbor values. Now, fortunately, in BreakoutOS, it's very simple to do. We just click on this button and it will isolate only the equity curves for neighbor values. And you see these are very similar. We can visualize now 0.8 and 1. All of them are fantastic. So we definitely, the model where we take 1 as a base is a really good. Neighbor values are performing fantastically. This is another check, right? Like everything about robustness is just like check, check, check. We just checked another box and it's another good one. So far so good, so far very promising. You can also in BreakoutOS, you can click here on different ranks. So for example, the second, this is also a good sign. So number 1 is the default space, but the second best, these are ranks of space from the best to the worst. The second base is 0.8. So what more of a proof we could get that we're on the right track, okay? So, and then 0.1, which is next to 1 on the higher side, is the third. So again, everything fits together perfectly. The last 3, so the best 3 are actually fitting within this one top 3 cluster. Fantastic, as good as it can get, okay? So now some of you could already say, hey, I'm done, I can move on. Not so fast, guys. I told you everything is about robustness. So we need to continue. Now, before we continue, you can also check quickly a code. So this is a pseudo code, what it would look like. Entry window 3 to 11 p.m. This is just a general pseudo code. Point of initiation is to define a space multiplied ATR, where space is 1, ATR is average to range 20, point of initiation is low of the day. And that's just for coding fans. I'm not a coder. I'm a trader and I love trading practice and charts, not codes, but it's all there. So now we have to do another thorough test, and this is, by the way, we can also visualize these trades. So you can see what these trades look like. And yeah, some are winners, some are losers, but overall quite all right trades, right? Like meaningful trades. The blue line is the point of initiation. The dotted line is the breakout level. So here we would break out here, go long, exit at the end of the day, right? Just nothing fancy, just a vanilla plain, good old-fashioned breakouts. We can also see the trade list, which we do not need to see. The most important thing is that we need to continue with these robustness tests. And we did quite a few of them, and all of them resulted really, really well. So now we need to also use this built-in robustness testing. And there are 2 different types, the rank heat map and robustness index. And do not get overwhelmed. I know this looks a little bit weird and maybe overwhelming, but listen, the BreakoutOS does things completely differently. The specialized platform for breakout trading only is the best out there. It does things differently. It's not just these general advices for everyone. This is built by professionals for professionals. This works. So they do think a little bit differently. And now what we see here is basically if we pick our multiplier, which is 1, don't forget, okay, low of the and 1 times of ATR. So if we pick number 1, now now please pay attention. This is a little bit hard to explain, but it makes all the logic. what we need to do is to kind of walk forward this number one solution, but not walk forward in the traditional sense. As I explained already, in BreakoutOS, things are done a little bit differently. Now, we have, the moment I'm recording this video, I'm recording ending at the end of 2025 and getting it ready for January 2026. We literally have few days left till the end of 2025. Now, what we do, basically, we pick the best solution out of all of them, all of the spaces. We pick the solution rank 1, and we hope that rank 1, like this which we ranked under number 1, which accidentally was also space multiplier 1, we also will be ideally among top 3 or 5 ranks in the future. We don't need necessarily to be the first rank in unseen future, but among, let's say, top 5. So we make this assumption, right? Like we're just made an assumption. Hey, if I pick for a specific range the number 1, it will be number 1 in the next period. But it's just an assumption. So we need to verify this assumption. And how do we verify such an assumption? We verify it with a very specific walk forward test where we basically take that 10 years of data and we use so-called anchored forward testing, and then for each, like year 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 up to 4, 1 up to 5, 1 up to 6, 1 up to 7, 1 up to 8, and 1 up to 9, we do same ranking we did. And what we did see is that basically, let's exclude 2016, that's just the initial year, but if we would do this process on 2016 to 2017, number 1 would be ranked number 9, space 1 would rank 9. But next year it would actually rank 7, so it would get better. Next year 5, next year 6, next year 6. And last 4 years, not only it would rank in sample, but if we would continue, it still would rank number 1, number 1, number 1. So these are overall very low ranks. And overall, the rank is 5.2. And among all the other spaces, all the other solutions, this ranks as number 1. So this is very stable. The assumption that when we take a high rank on this of any model, and now assuming it will be among the highest ranks in the future next year, it's very correct here. It's the assumption, and again, we're playing probabilities, right? Like some guys who just love to prove everyone how smart geniuses they are, they would now start throwing like, how about this and this statistic and stuff. Give me a break, guys. If you like being smart, be smart. I'm a trader. I'm in a trading area and I'm using common sense, experience, practice. And this is, from a vast experience, a fantastic test to really say this has not only a lot of probabilities, and I'm not saying certainties, I'm saying probabilities that this will go well in the future, okay? And that's all I need. Plus, rank number 1 on the last 3 or 4 years means strong momentum. I told you, last 3 years are the most important because that's usually the biggest reflection of the next year. And if we see high ranking among the last 3 years, hallelujah, that means this model is probably very ready for the next year. And again, we're playing probabilities, but that's all we need, probabilities. So everything just fits together very well here. Everything looks good. We need to pass one more test, which is Proprietary Robustness Index of BreakoutOS. It's covered. You do not know the formula. but it's good. It's a very strong formula which basically assesses all the other combinations. It just takes enormous amount of all the available data, analyzes them through very different point of views, and gives you another ranking or rating 0 to 100%. And with this rating, space 10, we're getting 72%. So anything 70 to 80 is good robustness. So we are getting good robustness by the BreakoutOS, their own robustness assessment itself. And then we also need to measure recency. That's another formula they have here. And again, getting back to the idea that last 3 years or even a year, we have to see momentum, we have to see good recency quality. So we go to recency performance, we have 97 score. So basically everything, we have a look, guys. We've already in this masterclass done huge amount of tests. It's mind-blowing how much we did already. So we did in sample and out of sample. We did the distribution of positive number of different spaces. We did checked of top ranking point of initiations. We uncovered last 2 years and made sure it works out of sample. We did the rank heat map. We did the proprietary robustness index. We did the recency performance index, and everything here is screaming, this is good. Does it mean it will 100% make money in the future? No, there's no such a thing in trading. If you still believe this crap, do not do trading. But it means that a lot of probabilities are on our side. This is a good, potentially good foundational model. And we're done with robustness testing at this stage, but there will be one more edit. So we're not done completely, right? Like we did everything here, but there will be another big set of robustness tests. Everything is about robustness. Everything, guys. If you don't have robust strategy, you lose money. Period. If you have robust strategies, you'll make money. Period. As simple as that. Okay, so we do have something which I would consider very, very potentially very good foundational prototype. And now we need to move it to the next stage, which is finalize and validate. Validate is another robustness testing. Never enough. So what we do now, we click on pick and finalize, and we move it to the stage number 3. Which is quite quick and easy. But again, I need you to digest everything I just shared with you about robustness testing. You need to get this into your head. You need to understand everything we did in the stage number 2. Okay. Again, we use BreakoutOS, fantastic professional tool to get most of the work for you in seconds. But you still need to understand the principle. You need to digest it. If you like this, give us a like, and in the next video, I'll complete this masterclass and you will see the rest, how to create or how to finalize the steps and do one more very thorough robustness testing check. So please subscribe, give us a like if you like this, and I'll see you next week, same time, in the last part of this masterclass.
You need a breakout. Let your spirit